What does the cross invite us to do? But first of all, what does it teach us? Let's look at the teaching first. Because first, long before even it's an invitation to follow, the cross is a revelation. And it's the primary revelation of God that Jesus gives us. Okay, what does it reveal? And here I want to enter this text, again, enter this concept through a biblical text. Text we're very familiar with, very powerful text, and I think sometimes we don't get the full impact of this text. You know, when you go to church on Good Friday or Palm Sunday, and the Passion is read, and the reader says, the Passion of our Lord Jesus Christ according to John, the Passion of our Lord Jesus Christ according to Mark, okay? Then just picture ourselves. Remember, we're standing at church. Imagine it's Good Friday, okay? And they're reading the Passion. And then you get to this very, very powerful moment where Jesus dies. And the reader says, and then Jesus gave up his spirit. He died. And then in Catholic churches, we kneel down for a minute of silence. And that's probably the single most powerful liturgical moment of the whole year. You know, Christ has just died. We kneel down. We have this minute of silence. Then we get up, and this is the next line in the Gospels. They said, then the curtain veil was ripped from top to bottom. And then one of the accounts says, and the tombs opened up, and the bodies of saints came out and began to walk around. There were earthquakes and cataclysmic things and so on. And that sounds so heavy and so negative. I remember as a kid, you hear that read, and then you figure, well, now they know they've crucified Jesus, you know. But actually, it's a very positive text. It said, the curtain veil was ripped from top to bottom. What was the curtain veil? Well, the curtain veil was the veil that separated the ordinary people from seeing into the Holy of Holies in the temple. See, when it's ripped away, ordinary people can see into the Holy of Holies. What the sacred author is trying to say here is, with the cross of Jesus, with the way Jesus died, it rips away the veil that separates us from looking into God. See, the cross it's the telescope. It's the vision piece that helps us see right into the heart of God. It rips away the temple veil. And then that beautiful text where it says, in the bodies of saints, the graves opened and the bodies of saints began to walk around. It's a beautiful text. Basically it's saying for Christians, all the tombs are empty. There's nobody in there. It's one of the reasons we haven't had great cult around cemeteries as Christians. You know, we kind of keep the grass cut and get a nice little stone up there, but we don't believe there's anybody there. You know, the cross of Christ, and later on we'll look this morning at the descent into hell and so on. When you understand the cross of Christ, you'll know that the tombs are empty. But what the cross of Christ does, it gives us a look right into the heart of God. And what we see there, we're going to see is spectacularly beautiful. Let me try to set that up by using an Old Testament contrast. You know, in the Jewish scriptures, which we call the Old Testament, the rainbow is the symbol of God. You know, what's a rainbow? I like that's a beautiful, and that's a very carefully chosen symbol. It's not just chosen because it looks real nice, and so on. See, in the Old Testament, they said, God is light. Okay? I like that. God is light. But you know, you don't see light. Like there's light in this room right now, but you don't see light. We see by light, but we don't see light. And the only way you see light is if something refracts it. So you get some crystal or some water beam or something which refracts light. And what it does is it breaks light open. It literally tears aside the curtain veil. Then you see what's inside of light. And what you see inside of light, then you see that light is actually spectacularly beautiful. Like you can't see the light in this room right now, but actually what's inside of it is spectacularly beautiful. All those magnificent colors. See, what a rainbow does, a prism does, is it tears away the curtain veil, and it shows you the inside of light. The cross of Christ is that kind of rainbow, except it's that kind of rainbow morally. What it does, it refracts the moral love part of God, and it shows us the inside of God, and what we see inside of God is spectacularly beautiful. That's when we see God is love.